This is the place the innkeeper was talking about. The Hermit lives somewhere up here.
Search.
So this is the Voivod's letter. God be with you, Hermit.
I don't have time for you. Go away.
Folk in the village are saying you've made a miraculous recovery. And since then, you won't let anyone near you. What happened?
Nothing happened. I just can't stand all these people coming here and disturbing me. Can't I have a moment's peace?
Judging by what I've heard about you, you're a bit fishy, Hermit.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a lot of talk about you in the village. They say you've made a pact with the devil, and are summoning demons from hell.
Old wives' tales. What do I care about such nonsense?
Well, but supposing it isn't nonsense.
Of course it is.
The apparition was seen by the conciliatory cross at night.
Old wives' tales.
I went to take a look, and it really is askew. But it wasn't magic that Hellspawn was wielding. It was a shovel. There was a hiding place beneath the cross. And the man digging there at night didn't have time to put the cross back in the right position.
By all the saints! So someone was digging there. What has that to do with me?
There was a brand new cloak of the Knights of the Cross in the hiding place. It's clear that the man doing the digging hid it there, maybe to cover up who he really is. And what he's planning.
I still don't know what you want from me. What have I got to do with some cloak?
The man who took things from the hiding place can't have been some chance thief, because he left a purse full of coin there.
So keep the groschen, lad, and stop pestering me. It's nothing to do with me.
I found some pretty interesting documents of the Order.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I reckon you do, Ambrose. According to one of the documents, you were appointed Seneschal of the Knights of the Cross with the Red Star. Or are you going to tell me it was some other Ambrose?
I'm not going to tell you anything. I don't know anything about any documents.
A few nights ago, a herdsboy saw a black horseman ride into Apollonia. He thought it was an apparition, but I think a demon would have known the road to Apollonia and wouldn't have spun round and round at the crossroads like a top.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I found a black horse stabled in a pen here. In the woods below the rocks. A well-fed, healthy horse. Black as charcoal. The man who rode on it wasn't an apparition. Or the devil.
Why are you telling me all this? For God's sake! Stop this nonsense right now.
That's enough. I think there are enough fishy things going on around you for me to tell the bailiff. But you're in luck. All I'm after is that broken sword. So, come clean.
You're wide of the mark. But in the end, maybe you could help me.
What do you want help with, Ambrose?
I'm not Ambrose. He died some time ago. I am Conrad, Knight of the Cross with the Red Star.
Ambrose is dead, you say? How did it happen?
He was an old man. Unfortunately, he was already at death's door when I found him.
And you had nothing to do with his death?
Of course not. Ambrose was my friend. I'd known him for 20 years. He was a good member of the Order, and an outstanding teacher.
What are you doing in the Hermit's hut, then?
In Prague, I got into a serious dispute. Ambrose was the only person who could help me. That's why I came to see him.
I'm guessing that the diabolical horseman scaring people round these parts was you.
That was not my intention, believe me.
Ambrose was a member of your order.
More than a member. He was the Seneschal, second in rank only to the Grand Master. He served the Order for many years before getting into a dispute with the Prague chapter and the Inquisition. Then he had to disappear. I was the only one to know where to look for him. But I came too late. All he managed to tell me was his last wish.
You scared the life out of Gerda from Troskovitz that night. What were you doing there?
Ambrose had a hiding place beneath the cross where he kept things from his past.
I found some documents there from the Knights of the Cross. But Ambrose clearly wasn't interested in them. So what did he send you to get?
He sensed that death was coming for him. He wanted me to help settle his affairs. And he also longed to hold his old sword in his hands one last time. I went to his hiding place that very night. But by the time I got back, Ambrose was dead. I put the blade on his grave, in place of a cross.
So the sword is on Ambrose's grave. Will you tell me where I can find it?
You want to disturb his rest?
I just want the sword, that's all. It's no use to him now.
All right. I'll tell you where his grave is, if you fulfill Ambrose's last wish instead of me. I can't do it.
All right. What am I supposed to do?
Listen carefully, then. There's an old widow called Margaret living in the village. Take this cross to her, and say to her exactly these words. Margaret, Ambrose forgives you, but his brother must get what is rightfully his.
Margaret, Ambrose forgives you, but his brother must get what is rightfully his.
That's right.
I hope she'll know what this is about.
Don't worry, she will. Give her the cross, and I'll tell you where you can find the sword. Benedictio Domini sit tecum.
Gather round, good people. Come and see a swindler, butcher, who shamelessly cheated his neighbors and sold them rotten meat. Come and take a good look at him. This villain is guilty of using faulty scales and giving his customers less than they paid for. And when they demanded the right amount, he threatened and terrified them with his cleaver. And even though he knew the meat was rotten, he sold it anyway, making many honest folk fall ill. But his swindling days are over.
Not your
A long
day, eh?
stretch in the pillory awaits him. And the same fate awaits every
did you do?
dishonest trader
Nothing.
who disrespects
Really?
both his
You expecting
customers
a different
and the
answer?
law. Let him
What if I
be a
freed
lesson
you?
to you.
On Scarpa,
God's
obviously.
law and the law of the land apply to
How's it
everyone.
going? I expect that's not very comfortable on your back.
Fuck my back, I can hardly feel it anymore. But recently some joker passed by and put a dead fish in my breeches. So you don't end up here too.
Greeting.
This might seem strange, but I'm supposed to give you this.
A cross? Mother of God. What's the meaning of this?
Margaret, Ambrose forgives you, but his brother must get what he deserves.
Ambrose? The Hermit?
It was his wish that I give you the cross and the message. He said you'd know what it's about.
Oh my God! By all that's holy, it couldn't possibly be him. All those years, I'd lost hope. I never forgave myself. I committed a mortal sin.
Well, I don't know what you did. But this is supposed to be your absolution.
No, there's no absolution. Not yet. You said it yourself. Not until Ambrose's brother gets what he deserves. The bones. They still lie there outside the wall. Help me. His soul must find peace.
All right. I'll help you. But you'll have to tell me more.
Thank you, lad, thank you. But not here. We must go to the graveyard. That's where my curse lies.
Let's go then. There's no time to waste.
Here it is.
What does the graveyard have to do with absolution?
Hold on. Not so fast. I'll tell you everything. First, tell me, are you afraid of the dead?
It's the living I'm more afraid of than the dead.
One should fear the dead. But in the end, it's probably a good thing that you have no fear. You see, one poor soul is waiting for redemption. For years and years.
Ah, I get it now. Ambrose's brother has to get what he deserves. This is about the soul of Ambrose's brother.
His name was Jan. He lies outside the graveyard wall, buried without rites. He's been there for 30 years.
What happened to him?
The memories are painful. We were childhood friends, and Jan loved me. Only, I chose his friend Vashek over him. He couldn't get over the rejection. So he lay in wait for Vashek one evening.
And Vashek killed him?
It was an accident. They quarrelled. Jan drew his sword first, and Vashek had to defend himself. Apparently, they got close to the cliff edge while they were fighting, and Jan fell. When they found his body at the bottom of the cliff, people thought he'd killed himself. The only one who didn't believe it was Jan's brother.
Why doesn't he have a proper grave?
Because suicides can't enter the kingdom of heaven. They have to be buried outside the walls, like the unclean. The worst thing about it is that Jan didn't kill himself. He didn't deserve such a dishonourable burial, and it's my fault. I said nothing.
Did you see it? Were you there?
No, but I believed my Vashek. He would never have lied to me. It pained him till the day he died, and he lived in fear of Jan's brother creeping up behind him one day and taking his revenge. In the end, that fear ate him up from inside.
Why didn't Ambrose avenge his brother Jan's death? He must have realised that you two were involved in it.
He went away to Prague and joined an order of knights. He didn't want revenge, most likely. He let us live in peace.
But then he came back and became a hermit in Apollonia. It never occurred to you that it was him?
No. His name was Adam before, but he changed it to Ambrose. Besides, he got old, and I don't go to the cliffs much.
Ah, the conciliatory cross where they saw the apparition. That's to commemorate Jan.
His brother Ambrose had it built there. And those diabolical apparitions. It's my fault for saying nothing. God is punishing me for my sins.
Nonsense. God wouldn't use a diabolical apparition to scare you, would he? And what's more, Ambrose forgave you, didn't he?
Only on the condition that Jan's bones will be laid to rest in consecrated ground. Help me lay him to rest in a proper grave, please.
But without telling the priest and gravedigger. Isn't that sacrilege?
That's the only way we can put right a terrible mistake. Jan didn't kill himself.
All right. We'll give him a proper burial. Jan's soul has the right to eternal rest.
Thank you. The Lord will pay you back 100-fold. There's a rose bush outside the graveyard wall. You'll find his bones beneath it. Please bury him beside my Vashek. Here, beneath the pine tree. In that way they'll be reconciled at least in death. Then place Ambrose's cross on his grave to bless their reconciliation. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Intercede for my forgiveness, and may their souls find eternal salvation. I know my silence was a sin. Jan did nothing wrong. Our Father.
Oh, you stink like a pig.
And you look like one.
How rude.
Your journey ends here, Jan. I don't know what you have on your conscience. But rest in peace. I don't know much about prayer in these situations, but... Our Father, there are many sinners in this world, but in the end, we all face your judgment for what we should have done, but lacked the courage to do. So forgive me this little sacrilege. You know better than anyone that it was the right thing to do. Thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven, and deliver us from evil. Amen. Ambrose's brother Jan got what he deserved, just as the Hermit wanted.
I saw that. May his soul find peace at last.
And yours too, Margaret.
30 years. I thought about it every day.
It's all right now. You did the right thing. Everything else is beyond the law of man.
I'd like to reward you somehow.
I expect you wouldn't want anyone to hear about all this, right?
Well, if you... Will you keep it to yourself?
All right. I'll accept the coin, and that'll be the end of it.
Thank you again for your help. God be with you, Henry. Take care, and have a pleasant evening.
Not your day, eh?
So you don't end up here too.
Not your day, eh?
So you don't end up here too.
What are you... Careful.
Leave it! Shoo!
Get out of here, mutt! No one wants to hear your barking!
I hope he didn't
Grab it by the scruff of the neck.
Oh, you mutt. What are you doing? Strolling about without a light.
No justice without punishment.
Those doors to be closed. Food and drink. I was talking to Bartoszek about the clothes he made for Orla. I just can't wait. I'll be going. God be with you. All right. See you later. What's that I hear? What happened here? All right. What was that?
Did I imagine it? Edna?
What's going on here?
Strange.
I'm fussing over.
I heard something.
Very odd. It must be over now.
I suppose it was nothing.
Stop where you are! We're after you!
Give up!
Easy! I surrender!
Ah! Here you are! You've been loitering around where you shouldn't have, and I've received reports of things going missing. Don't think we're idiots. You've been accused of theft. You'll pay a fine, and if I don't find those things on you, you'll pay for them too.
If you don't stop this insolence right now, I'll hit you so hard, you'll swallow your own teeth.
Shut your trap, you scoundrel. I won't be intimidated by a coward like you. Pay up, or I'll drag you to the pillory myself.
All right, I'll pay. I don't want any trouble.
Now I'll take those stolen items and see if you have anything else that doesn't belong to you.
Have a look then.
Right, I thought as much. I know this here doesn't belong to you either. All right, that, along with indulgence, should be enough. But I don't want to see anything like that again.
You'll think twice next time before you do something.
Why are you still here? Do you want me to take you in?
I apologize.
What are you doing, you whistler? You silly doggy.
What are you here for, friend?
Show me your wares. Let's talk about the price.
Sure. Why not? Never mind then. I'm done haggling with you. Thank you, and take care.
Christ, what?
Oh, you mutt.
You shouldn't be loitering around. Where do you think you're going? I've had enough! Give up!
All right! You caught me. I surrender.
You can't say you weren't warned. You can't just loiter around on other people's property. You'll pay up and show me whether you stole anything. Otherwise, we'll deal with your unruliness in the pillory.
Are you yanking my pizzle, or just really trying to piss me off? You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
But, Sakura. All right, easy. Let's just forget about it. Be on your way. Right, out you go. I'll be watching you. That's right. But if anything's gone missing here, then you're in for it.
Quick! Ka! 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 Quick! Go! Quick! Whoa!
Hey, fella! Listen, we need help!
What happened?
If you're going to see the Hermit, be warned. The man in the hut is just pretending to be the Hermit. His name is Conrad, and he's a fraud and a murderer. The Inquisition paid him to murder our Grandmaster Zdeněk in Prague. Fortunately, God did not let him carry out the crime. But 2 of our brothers were killed by Conrad when they tried to detain him.
And I see a third one will soon join them.
He was just about to flee from here as well. We took him by surprise, but he had time to grab that damned crossbow and shoot Klesgen. By the Virgin Mary, help us. We have to catch him.
You're a knight of an order.
Yes, I am Brother Arnold, a knight of the cross with the red star. And these are brothers Sibald and Nicholas. You are too late to make the acquaintance of Brother Klesgen, I'm afraid. We take care of the sick in infirmaries throughout the land. But we can't help our brother. You have to help us, while there's still time.
Why should I get mixed up in it?
I'll pay you. We just need to distract Conrad's attention. That's all. Otherwise, we won't have a chance against his crossbow in that gorge.
Did Conrad really want to flee?
Yes. We stopped him at the last moment. He almost got away, but we surrounded him.
That swine tried to deceive me. He mustn't get away.
God, thank you. Try to get close unseen, and set fire to the haystack on the right-hand side of the yard. Then his crossbow will be useless, but do it quickly, before he gets away.
Salva
My God.
Mata misericordia.
Please.
Pes nostro. Salva. Ave Maria. Gratia plena.
Calm down! I surrender!
Fucking coward! You shove that up your ass! What are those fancy
You're a dead man! You know that? Max? You're no match for me!
Ave Maria. Gratia plena.
I'm sorry. Now you're boring. Shit! Light him up! Sakura! I need a bandage, quick! There, that's better.
May by his passion and cross be brought.
What about our deal?
Ave Maria Gratia Plana.
You owe me something, knight.
You're right. Conrad was one of the best swordsmen of the Order. We wouldn't have stood a chance without you. Here's your silver.
What was it actually about?
I shouldn't tell you. But since you helped us, Conrad was paid by the Inquisition to kill our Grand Master, Zdeněk of Prague. He failed by the grace of God. But while fleeing from the commandery, the treacherous villain killed 2 of our brothers.
Conrad was working for the Inquisition.
Yes. When Archbishop Olbrum suddenly died a year ago, the Inquisition began to plot against our order and the king and to support the papal curia.
That is high politics indeed.
Sinners. They only care about money and power, the lot of them. We knights seek salvation in helping the poor and suffering. We are not murderers.
What did Conrad want here?
The local hermit Ambrose was his long-standing ally. He was seneschal of our order some years ago, but he transgressed and fled from Prague. But why Conrad was pretending to be his dead friend, I have no idea. Maybe he thought it would help him evade justice.
I have some documents of the Order that might be of interest to you. If we can agree on a price.
My God. The Order's Chronicle. We thought it was lost for good. Where did you find that?
In a hiding place. But that's not important.
It's a good thing you told me about it. What do you want for it? We'll return the books to the Order.
Our accounts are settled. Everything that happened here, I'll keep to myself. Farewell, Arnold.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritus Sancto. Amen.